Hey Siar, it's Mike. Just wanted to show you how I would do a turnover. So I've already interviewed the customer, I've gone through everything, and you should have already done that by now. So let's start with the warranty coverage on the vehicle. So the warranty is based on time or mileage, whichever comes first. You've got 1 year, 2 year, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Average person drives about 20,000 kilometers per year. So that's how they base the warranty. Now, factory warranty is 3 years or 60,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. During that period of time, you're going to have a full factory warranty. Now, when that expires, you're going to have up to 5 years or 100,000 kilometers partial coverage. The reason I say partial is because you're going to lose about 90% of the coverage that you have here, and this goes down to powertrain only, so engine and transmission. Because you're purchasing a used car, the previous owner has used up approximately this amount. Now what we can do is take this full comprehensive warranty and extend it out for you so that you'll have coverage for this area of time rather than just the remainder. There's different terms you can choose from. I'll go over that with you in just a moment. Now this is for the car. Now the bank is not so concerned with the car breaking down. They're more concerned with you breaking down. So like any financial institution, we'll always send it through for the first round of approvals with loan protection included in the form of a life insurance policy. God forbid, should anything ever happen to you, the vehicle will be paid off free and clear. Your family will be left with a car, an asset, instead of your debt. And that makes your payment $635. Now, rust proofing. So this is the car that you're purchasing. Pretty good, huh? Now, are you showing the paper as I'm doing this, or just
Yes,
my face?
whole thing.
Okay, perfect. So, from the factory, they have galvanized all the pieces of the car to prevent rust. The problem is they galvanize the metal before they actually assemble the car. So when you take a piece of galvanized sheet metal and you start to bend it, crimp it, drill holes in it, or weld it, it's going to burn some of the galvanization off, leaving weak areas in the car, and that's how rust starts. And the reason rust starts is all around us, you have positive and negative ions. They're everywhere. And what happens is, positive and negative are attracted to each other just like magnets. So they attach to each other, they attach themselves to the weak areas in the car that I just mentioned, they start to oxidize. That's what causes rust. We have something called an electronic module. And what we do is we install the module, and it's going to send a very weak electronic pulse through the metal. For lack of better words, I'm going to say that it changes the polarity of the ions. So when you have two like ions, they repel each other rather than attract. So if they can't attract to each other, they can't attach to the car. It's almost like having an invisible force field around the car that repels rust. For the interior, let's go over the paint. So this is what paint looks like under magnification. It's not smooth, it's bumpy, it's porous, it's sprayed on. And when dirt collects, it collects all over the surface of paint. When you wash it, you generally get the top surface dirt off. This will build up over time to look grungy. What we do is we clean this off, and we apply a thick layer over top of paint sealant. That's going to fill in all the blanks and provide a very smooth, high gloss surface. Good afternoon, BCS Auto Sales. One moment, please. Brock line 1, Brock line 1. You still rolling?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Everything's on there.
Okay, so now when dirt collects, it collects on this very slick, high gloss surface. It's much easier to clean. This is going to protect against bird droppings, tree sap, acid rain, and fading from the sun. For the interior, let's pretend that this is your fabric fibers under magnification. Now, you've heard of Scotch guarding, right?
Yep.
Perfect. This is nothing like it. Scotch guarding will sit on top. It's called plastic aerosol in a can. It's sprayed on, it hardens on top, and it's very brittle. Now, if this was your seat, every time you sat down, it would bend. Every time you get up, it would go like this. Because the Scotch guarding is brittle, it's going to flake off. So you should reapply it every 6 months. After about 1.5 to 2 years of reapplying it, you're going to have a buildup. You should strip it down to the bare minimum and start all over again. Our product is different. It's permanent. It saturates every fiber individually right down to the underpad, causing a barrier. So if you spill anything, it can't seep in. It just beads off. One last thing here. Tint. A lot of people don't consider this protection for the car. I do, but I'm a little weird. So for the car, we're recording here. For the tint, every time you leave the cottage, the last thing you do is you shut the curtains because you don't want that harmful that sun to come in and damage the furniture or the carpets. Tinting your car windows will do the same thing for your car. It keeps the sunlight away and it keeps the interior cooler. What's the next thing? Rip, tear, and burn. Okay. The way I'm going to explain, so rip, tear, and burn, what I would do is just say, here's your vehicle. We have a product that if you damage your windshield, if you get dings or dents, if you run over a nail and it flattens the tire, or if you were to lose a key, it would replace them. We'll get to a close a little later on a better way to present that. Gap protection. I'm assuming you sell gap protection. So, I got Mike behind the camera here. Mike, let me ask you a question. If your vehicle was involved in a collision or written off, how much of your car loan would you expect your insurance company to pay?
Car loan?
Yeah.
No, none.
You wouldn't expect your insurance company to pay any of your car loan if your car was written off.
Well, they'll pay the price, the what's worth at the moment.
Okay, so the correct answer is I would expect the insurance company to pay off my entire loan.
Okay, sorry. I would expect my insurance company to pay off my entire loan.
Yeah, that's very, and I love the ethnicity, and I love the accent. So yes, that is what most of my customers would say. But in reality, the insurance company is only responsible to pay off the fair market value. Okay, so let me show you how this works. So you've got time. 1, 2, forget that. Sorry, Siar, it's been a while since I've done this. Let's say the car you're buying is $30,000. With taxes, let's say $34,000. You're going to make equal payments until the end of your loan, and at the end you owe zero. So this is what your payment schedule looks like. Depreciation's a little different. Depreciation starts before taxes and drops immediately as soon as you drive off the lot. Now, if your vehicle was written off in this period right here, this is what market value is, and this is what you owe the bank. And this is what we call a gap. I did that backwards. It's been a while since I've done this here. Okay, so this is the gap.
Yeah.
Okay, with the gap protection, it would pay off the difference between what the car's worth and what you owe, plus your deductible up to $1,000, meaning you can walk away from this loan and owe absolutely zero, get into a brand new car without owning anything. Hey, only one last thing to do. Okay, Siar, this is you. You're looking pretty good, by the way. You've been working out. Okay, so you're going through life, you're happy, you're making your car payments, everything's fine. Now, what if the unthinkable happens and you end up in bed and you can't work? Every month, your car payments will continue coming out of your account, whether you're working or not. Now, we have something called accident health coverage. For every month that you're off, we're going to make those car payments for you so they don't hang over your head. If you never go back to work, we'll continue to make all the car payments on your behalf so that you don't fall behind over in your credit. Now, Siar, if this gets worse and you end up in one of these, don't mean to make light of a serious subject, but if this does happen, the life insurance, which I've said is already included in the loan, would pay off the vehicle free and clear so that your family won't be left with your debt. So at this point, Siar, I'm just going to present the prices. I'm not trying to sell, I just present it. I'm just going to present the numbers, let them pick. You don't start selling until they say no. So Siar, your payment right now with the loan protection included is $635. If you want to add the warranty, you can go to 5-year, add $26 to your payments, a 7-year would add $35. The rust protection is $22 per payment. If you wanted to get the full package of the paint and interior protection, is $34 per payment. Tint is an extra $9. Rip, tear, and burn, $23 per payment. Gap protection is $19, and the accident disability is $28. Which ones would you prefer?
I'll take everything.
Perfect. Now, the average person won't say that. They're gonna say, I'll take the rust proofing, I'll take the paint and interior protection, and the tint. And I'd say, that is fantastic. Let me get started on the paperwork for you. By the way, I'm just curious. You told me that resale value is important to you. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I noticed you didn't take the rip, tear, and burn. Now, let me ask you, is it the price or is it the product that concerns you? It's the price. It's always the price.
The price,
Because if it was
yeah.
free, you take it, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
always the price. Okay. Siar, I understand completely. It's hard to justify the cost if you don't see the value. To see if this might be cost effective for you, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, so Siar, we have two vehicles right here. Okay, we have car A and car B. Now, the only difference between the two of these cars is one has the rip, tear, and burn, and the other one doesn't. Now, you told me you plan to keep the car for about 5 years. You drive about 25,000 kilometers per year,
Yeah.
and you're going to be trading in the end, and resale value is important to you.
That's
Correct?
right.
Okay. Now, I know you said you're very careful with your car, but would it be safe to say that something may happen out of your control? You know, every car over 5 years gets a dent or two, fair to say?
Yeah, possibly.
For example, you're at the grocery store and someone has a shopping cart and dings your car. Okay? We would fix that if you had the denting and rip, tear, and burn protection. You're driving on the road, a rock flies up and hits the windshield. Okay? This would be fixed. You lost your key. I don't know how to draw a key for this one. What else? What else? What else?
Drove into a nail.
Yeah, you drive over a nail and it damages the tire. You go to parallel park and you end up kissing the curb and scratching the rim. Now, at the end of the 5 years, this car still has all the damage and this one was repaired at no cost. As a sales manager, appraising your car, which would you pay more for? The car with all the damage or the car that had the damage fixed? Of course, the car that had the damage fixed. Okay, and this is only $23 per payment for 60 months. If you want to spread that over 72 months, and you can pay it off early if you want, you can actually reduce your payment by $10 and still get the rip, tear, and burn. So would you prefer to add it to your 60-month payment, or do you want to go for the 72 months? Perfect. Okay, Siar, that's the end of it. Have fun.